Hi everyone. I'm going to go over week 13 in this video, and you can see here under our overview what's coming up this week. So you've got the the projected inquiry revision plan due on Monday, and then you're going to go ahead and add that to your reader's guide at the end. So with the revision plan, you've done this before with the editor's intro and your reader's guide now. So again, making plans for what you're going to change about your draft, and then adding it when it's done, or as done as it can be at this point, to your reader's guide. Okay, so just follow these instructions exactly. You all are used to designating these headings and then refreshing the table of contents, but you will have something that looks like this at the end. And again, if you have other subheadings in here, that's fine, but you should have at least this for the final draft. Okay. All right. Then I have moved this up from the end of the semester. I usually keep you in the same research and writing groups from the beginning of the extended inquiry project through the portfolio. However, participation in peer review has been lagging for some people, and that is not fair to people who are always, being diligent about doing the peer review for their group members. So I want to look again, reevaluate the groups after I receive this feedback, because I may be switching people around or just doing entirely new groups for the portfolio work that's coming up for the rest of the semester. So this is, no one else will see your score that you give your group members except me. And all they will see is an average of the scores that they receive from their group members. Okay, so I take these scores, average them together, and that becomes your grade for this assignment. Okay, so all you need to do is put the first names of your writing group members in the text box, and then give them a score as to how they have done, how engaged they have been for the peer reviews so far this semester. Okay, so if they've done nothing at all, you would give them a 0. If they've been great, you give them a 10. Let's say that you get, 3, people give you 3 8s on this. So that would mean that would average out to an 80. Or let's say someone gives you an 8, someone gives you a 10, that would average out to a 90. Okay, so that's how I'm going to average them out. This is a practice in academic dishonesty, so please do not discuss your scores with your group members. Also, it would be academically dishonest to give them a score that you did not think that they deserved. So that's either higher or lower than you think that they actually deserve. Okay, so you're not going to see the ratings you got except for an average, and they won't see the ratings that you gave them except for the average. Okay, so please take that seriously and do that by the end of the day Monday. Okay, so that's all for Monday. Then on Wednesday, we are shifting to starting looking at the portfolio, keeping in mind also that your final draft of your reader's guide is going to be due on Friday by the end of the day. But I want you to start looking at the portfolio assignment. So I'm not going to read through the whole thing here, but just know that it's similar, more extensive, but similar to what you did for the midterm portfolio. Okay, so for the midterm portfolio, you picked key terms that you had learned and found an artifact or that you showed as a screenshot to how you are demonstrating you working with that key term. I think that people struggled a little bit with key terms in the midterm, so I have come up with a list of key terms for you to choose at least 10 from. And I want you to use this list. If for some reason you have another key term in mind that you think is relevant to your growth as a writer, you have to be sure that you ask me first, or you won't receive credit for it on the portfolio. So if you want a key term from outside of this list, please check with me. Okay, so for each of the key terms, you're also finding an artifact from any of your work in the semester. Again, it has to be something you have written, not a screenshot of an article or a screenshot of someone else's work. It has to be something that you have written. That can be comments on other people's drafts. That's fine. But otherwise, it should be something that you have written for this course. You'll need to have a citation for each, and I give some examples of that. And just like with the midterm, you're going to define the key term in your own words and connect it with the artifact. How do you see the artifact being an example of that in some way? And then explain how or why the skills associated with that key term are important to you as a writer, either here or in the future. And I said at the top of this, I didn't mention it in the video, but you can use either Google Docs or Google Slides for this project. Either one will be fine, whatever you would prefer. Okay, and you also have a cover page that has a brief introduction, okay? And so you can just follow the guidelines for that. So even though this is not due until the end of the semester, I want you to start looking at it now, because next week you have the first what's called portfolio check due. So just like with the reader's guide, you're going to be doing this portfolio bit by bit in small manageable pieces, so that by the end of the semester it's all done and you're not doing anything at the last minute. Okay, so you'll see if you look ahead that there are what are called portfolio checks and more revision plans to keep you on pace with getting it done by the end of the semester. Okay, I also would like you to do this reader's guide checklist to make sure that you are meeting the requirements of the assignment and that you have everything there that you need. So this is, you're doing this 2 days before the reader's guide is due so that you can work on whatever you need to. Okay, so please check off and be honest with yourself, what's working and what you have done and what you need to work on. You can retake this as many times as you would like, or reload it to keep checking back on it. That's fine. You also have a studio on proofreading and editing, and this is going to be due on Wednesday instead of Friday, so that you can use the skills from the studio to proofread and edit your reader's guide before you turn it in. Okay, so please make sure that you are doing this studio. Okay, and then finally you want to proofread your reader's guide ebook for submission, and then on Friday you are submitting it. Okay, so please be sure that you are following these instructions for submitting it. So you're not submitting a Google link this time, you are saving it as a PDF. So make sure it's exactly as you want it, and then save it as a PDF. Okay, so that's it for this week. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing those final drafts of your reader's guides that you've all been working so hard on. All right, have a good week, everyone.